Hey guys, I'm Luke and I'm coming to you with a tutorial on how to change the pistol grip / motor. Now, I was asked by a guy at my site, he was quite young and he was asking how did you get your gun to shoot that fast? And I said I changed the motor, and he was looking at me like I had 3 heads. And so I sort of explained to him, and then he got it eventually. So doing this video for all those people who do not know how to take the piston / pistol grip out if you wanted to change it. Now this is a M4 platform. Other platforms may be different, so this is just for the M4 platform. Now most pistol grips bottoms will have either screws or Allen keys. Now I have screws on mine, so I need a Phillips screwdriver. So now remember to take these screws out evenly, because if you don't, it will put strain on one of the screws and it could potentially damage them. Now once you have the plate off, you'll be exposed to the motor. Now the motor has a positive and negative. Now you must remember where these go. Now the black one I have on here is on that side, and you don't know, it's not marked at all which side it's on, but the red wire is connected to the other side, and on the other side is like a little bit of red on this little circle. I'll show you now. Just get the piston out. Now there's like a little circle there where my finger is, and that's where the little red mark is. I don't think you can see it on the camera. The quality isn't the best maybe because of the light, I'm not too sure. Okay, so once you have your piston out, you can put a new piston in by popping it back in, putting the wires on the right connections, because if you don't, it will spin backwards and it won't fire, and it could damage your heads on your gears. So make sure you put the wires on the right connections. They should be marked, like this one has a little red one for the red wire, and then obviously the black one is for the opposite. So once you have that done, you should be able to see 2 screws at the bottom of the pistol grip. Don't know if you can see that now. That lamp is hot. I need the light for the camera. Let's see. If you can see the bottom there is 2 screws, the 2 little black things at the bottom. Now you must unscrew those to take the pistol grip off. Now you might need a long screwdriver here, and if this one isn't long enough, you must get a longer one. Just put your screwdriver down there, get the screw, and you start unscrewing. Once I get it, obviously. Now this is a simple task. This is one of the simple things to do with your M4. Many people ask, does this increase your FPS? And the question is no. Reason being, it's not the spring. The spring is the one that that gives the power. Even though the motor spins it, it does not change the FPS. It might change it by 2 FPS or something like that because it spins faster, maybe, but I'm pretty sure it's the spring that does all the work. Alright, so once you have the screws completely unscrewed, which I have not done, just have to keep going until you unscrew them completely, and ta-da, you have your pistol grip off. Now take the wires out gently, you don't want to damage the wires, and So once you have your pistol grip off, like that, you'll be exposed to these little grey piece, and there's a hole. That's where the piston sits in the hole to spin the gears, and this part here is the gearbox casing, which looks pretty nice, and it doesn't look too bad. Yeah. So when you're taking the pistol grip off, make sure to keep the screws in it facing downwards, so you don't have to get a magnetic screwdriver like I have and like place them in the right hole and then screw them in. So make sure you have the screws, you know, it would just be easier. Now there is 4 points on the gearbox that you can put 4 screws in, but you only need 2. Now to put it back on is simply in reverse. How long is this? 5 minutes. It is a tech video, so it is going to take pretty long. So the first thing you do is put your wires back in, not the opposite holes that they like say. Right, so just give me a sec. Say this is on the left side and you put it in the right hole on the pistol grip, and don't do that, just put it on the side that the wires go through. If I can. Wait a second. Oh, the screws have to come out, that's why. Now, it is very hard to get the screws in the holes. You have a magnetic screwdriver. It is very hard to get them in the hole. I'm going to put that one back in. So we get the wires in the holes and you can start pushing it down. Now, if you're having... Now, another problem that most airsofters ask... your motor keeps disconnecting from the wires. Now, the reason is for that is there's a little... It's like... So it's a piece of metal and then there's 2 curved things at the bottom there. Also, I forgot to mention this. Take your battery out before you do this, because you don't be getting electric shocks off this. It's one thing that make sure you take out your battery. Yeah, as I was saying, there's like... If I can get it close up on this... that'll focus. Maybe if... Alright, I think you'd be able to see that. Damn it. Alright, see the way it is there, and there's like 2 little curves at the bottom there. If they're not tight enough, it will slip off the motor. So you must, if you need to tighten it, you just get pliers and you squeeze it a bit. Now, not too tight, because if you squeeze it too tight, you won't be able to get onto it. So just make sure it's tight enough that it's not slipping off when you put the the plate back on. So I'm just going to zoom back out there. Okay, so once you put your new pistol grip on, I'm just keeping the same one on, not doing actual change my pistol grip here. So say if you were going to change it, you put a different one and you screw it in like I've demonstrated. Then if you want to put a new mower in, you plop it in like so. And then you make sure it's the right way. Sorry. So if the red wire is on this side, make sure it connects to this side, because the red little marker is on this side, and this wire is long, and it won't work that way. So what you do is you take your piston out and just swap it around, which is pretty easy. Then you sort of get your red wire to wrap around the piston that it gives. Right, so once you have that done, you can tuck the wires down the side, and then you do the same thing with the black. Ow. That lamp is really hot. It takes some fiddling to do it. even if you know what you're doing. I think this might need to be tight, or I think it needs to be tightened. I don't know where my plier is. Pliers. Ah, found it. Right, so it can be any type of pliers, and you just squeeze it a tiny bit. Don't squeeze it too tight. Just do a little bit at a time, and take your time and patience. Don't rush this. You don't want to break anything, or make sure nothing's in place. Now make sure the wires are tucked down. Make sure your black one is normally shorter than your red one. Don't know why, it just is. So once you have your wires nicely tucked and connected back up, you can put your plate back on, and you can screw it back on. Now that was quite simple. If you didn't think it was simple, well then you're gonna need to get someone to do it for you. It is quite simple. I don't know if my hands were blocking the camera because I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing, then pay attention to what I'm doing on the camera, and trying to explain as much as possible. Where's that screwdriver go? Now make sure these are nice and tight. You want your piston nice and tight in there. You don't want to slip out of the gearbox. There's also a screw. Normally it's a big round screw, but in this case it's a little small Allen key. What that does there, it positions the gearbox, how far it goes up into the gearbox and how far it's back. Now if the gear, or if the piston is spinning and you keep hearing this really fast spinning noise, then what's wrong there is the piston isn't up far enough, and if it's up too far, it won't fire at all. So just have it in the right position that it will fire nice and smoothly, and it doesn't wreck your gears. And the only way you have to know that is you have to fiddle around with it and for a while, and you should have it done. Now once you have that hooked up, just go and get your battery and connect it up to see if it works, because 9 out of 10 times it is connected up right. That 1 out of 10 could have fell off, so just test it. And then try on full auto. So it's working, and just gonna discharge the spring and put on safe. So I hope this video helped you out, guys. It was a simple tutorial on how to change the pistol grip and the piston / motor. There's two words, piston, not motor. You can choose which one you want. This is for the M4 platform, as I said. You can skip through bits of the video just to see how you do it. It's pretty simple down. This is for the people who are just starting off. Now, for people just starting off, I do recommend you watching. Like if you have friends that don't want to do it and they're gonna say I'm gonna do it myself, make sure they watch a video on how to do it, or get ask a airsoft technician or mechanic how to do it, or just find some way to do it. Don't just go start screwing stuff in. So guys, until next time, hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, adios.